sexually suggestive type of phrases in these photos. And, of course, these last ones of an apparent bare-chested or shirtless congressman, but no confirmation on that. He says the account has been hacked. He has not called for an official investigation. He does have a lawyer. We're waiting to see what he will say in a moment. Meanwhile, and what is really was a strange twist, is Breitbart himself came to this press conference saying that he was on his book tour. He wanted to see what was going on, so the reporters asked him to go to the podium to explain what he has. So right now, we have the specter of Congressman Weiner waiting for Andrew Breitbart, the man who has shown a lot of this to the world today on his internet forum, waiting for him to finish speaking before we hear from what Weiner may or may not announce. Neil?
All right, you're looking live at Breitbart at this Sheraton event. Of course, it was not scheduled as such. It was, as Eric pointed out, supposed to be the congressman talking to the media, but it is Breitbart and his organization that has released these pictures, so we'll keep on top of it. Eric, thank you very much. Well, Bret Baier, it doesn't get more bizarre than what's ensuing right now. Where is all of this going? Bret Baier, of course, anchor a special report. Bret.
Neil, I have no clue. This is bizarre. The fact that Andrew Breitbart is at that podium, it's just, the whole thing is bizarre. What we do know is that the Speaker's office hasn't received any letter from Representative Weiner. We have talked to a number of Democrats, including the New York delegation, our own Chad Pergram talking to a number of lawmakers saying they don't know what Anthony Weiner is going to say about this. We do know that Representative Weiner did not show up to a number of events over the weekend that he was scheduled to show up for. And we do know that these photos have posted on Andrew Breitbart's biggovernment.com. But we also know that at least one media outlet, ABC News, has sat down with the woman, one of the women, who say they received these images and had some sort of back and forth with a number of images and messages between the two of them. And we know that's true for at least one media outlet, and maybe others have now sat down with this woman who's supposed to be coming out and talking to the media. So this spectacle is hard to imagine. When this all started, it seemed at the beginning like it really might blow over. But then that first press availability that Representative Weiner held, where he didn't answer questions, then triggered another round of interviews. I interviewed him. He didn't answer questions about whether it was him or why he didn't call authorities. And now we're at this saga that it's unexplainable why Andrew Breitbart's at the podium there.
It is. It's bizarre. We've been monitoring this. And in fact, we might dip in a little later. But the fact of the matter is Breitbart has been telling reporters, you know, we didn't create or manufacture this story. It's a legitimate story. These are legitimate issues. I'm paraphrasing here. But I'm wondering then, given the role of Breitbart, and we know certainly how some liberals and how some Democrats feel about Mr. Breitbart, fairly or not, are they going to start putting pressure on Weiner to just step down?
I mean, that is possible. It depends on how deep this goes, how far it goes as far as the storyline goes. There's another report of another woman with evidence. So it depends on how fast this train starts moving and exactly what Representative Weiner says about all of this. As you know, the case of Representative Chris Lee in New York, who resigned immediately after a picture of him bare-chested showed up on Gawker. That happened in a matter of hours. The picture surfaced, and then Representative Lee resigned. It appears that Representative Weiner was going to fight this, and we again don't know what he's going to say this afternoon. Everyone is anxiously watching, but we have no indication from the Hill that any decision has been made officially.
All right, Bret, we'd love to indulge your service, as busy as you are now, before your 6 p.m. show a little later. I do want to dip in, if we can, to Andrew Breitbart, because he has sort of been a lightning rod of controversy here in this whole story. He feels vindicated by pictures he says are unquestionably those of the congressman. Let's listen into Mr. Breitbart.
I want to hear the truth. I want to hear the truth from Congressman Weiner. Quite frankly, I'd like an apology for him being complicit in a blame the messenger strategy. That was clear what happened. 72 hours in Palm Springs with your family is excruciating when you are being challenged. Andrew, why aren't you on vacation? Why won't you get off the phone? because I'm being accused of being the hacker against a congressman. He said nothing. He allowed for that to go. His minions perpetuated that false, malicious meme, and then he went on CNN to attack me. I feel he was complicit.
You received a photo from the same source?
What? Yeah, you're Marsha, aren't you? You can talk. The girl story, I believe, will be on World News Tonight, and I think she'll be available. She can talk to you more specifically about the ways with which she received these photos. She's the one who is attesting to the fact that it came from Congressman Weiner. I've seen it. I've seen a lot of this congressman's body at this, and he's in very good shape. And it appears to be his body. I know.
Sir, with all due respect, why should we believe your story?
Okay, everything that I've said so far has come to be true. I'd like to hear one. The media says Breitbart lies, Breitbart lies, Breitbart lies, Breitbart lies. Give me one example of a provable lie. One.
Do you believe he's done anything?
One. Journalists, one. Put your reputation on the line here. One provable lie.
Then why won't you release the photo?
Do you know what I would be accused of if I released this photo? I'm doing this to save his family, okay? And if this guy wants to start fighting with me again, I have this photo. But I absolutely do. I'm not doing this for nefarious purposes. I'd like an apology from him for allowing for his political protectors, which this was his strategy, was to blame me for hacking. Oh, don't worry, Breitbart's our regular whipping boy. We can accuse him of anything, and the press will not hold those journalists to account no matter what they say. And so I'm here for some vindication.
Do you feel like in some way there's a degree of importance to say you're holding these photographs as though the Congressman?
I'm not saying I'm looking, no, it's not dependent upon that. It's not dependent upon that. I'm trying to do the decent thing here. I'm trying to do the decent thing here and not release the photo. If this guy decides to start attacking me and saying that I'm making all this stuff up like he did last week, and he wants to fight with fire, I mean, come on, it is news, my friend. It is news, and I know of countless other websites and news organizations that would put this out there.
Your contention that Congressman Weiner is living a quasi-double life and emailing some stuff that President know about, is that essentially your contention?
Excuse me?
Is your contention that the Congressman is living a double life? Certainly.
You know what? I'm trying to put the pieces together of this myself. I mean, you know, it's not as Friday of Memorial Day, and I've been sick for much of the last week and a half. I get this tweet sent to me. It was also sent to Ariana Huffington, the person who saw this tweet initially, Patriot USA 76, a person I have no idea who it is, wanted me to see it. I happened to see it. I chose to investigate it. It took us about 4 hours with an editorial team to finally realize that we had the story down solid, and that the hack story really made it a very relevant news story that wasn't getting into it for the sake of the sordid nature of the story.
How did you verify the photographs if the person who sent it to you is someone that you don't know and that had become photographs?
Well, you're going to have to ask that question of ABC News as well. We both did. It was sent by his emails. We've seen.
All right, you're watching the unfolding of what has to be a bizarre day in the news here, and bizarre afternoon concerning when Congressman Anthony Weiner and these pictures that were allegedly pegged to him, additional ones cropping up today, showing what appears to be a topless male at his computer sending along pictures. According to Andrew Breitbart, the gentleman who first released the initial photo, these photos are legit. They are of Anthony Weiner. The congressman was supposed to address the media 11 minutes ago. But here's what makes this even weirder. Breitbart is at this Sheraton Hotel event where the congressman is due to speak. And he just sort of walked up when other media folks noticed he was there to take the microphone that the congressman was supposed to take 11 minutes ago to answer these charges initially brought up by Mr. Breitbart right before Memorial Day weekend. So it gets even more bizarre. And Brett Baier is following all of this. I'm wondering if I'm Congressman Weiner, Brett, whether I come out at all now. What happens?
It's just bizarre. Now, we're checking again with our producer up on Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, who had checked and said that this email that went out from friends of Representative Weiner announcing this event was in fact legit, and that it was believed that the congressman was going to be there, that this wasn't going to be some sort of stunt by Breitbart or whomever to get publicity about this. Now, he may be leaving the podium now.
He is leaving. That would be, we try to check this out, that this presser was planned, was organized, was set up, was indeed legit. But if you're Weiner, and we've heard reports that he has not been seen in that room, Eric Schoen reports he is not in that room, then